What's the deal?
1, 2, 3, 4!
Señor Fancypants.
From an underground laboratory in Pennsylvania comes the Señor Fancypants Show. Out of the hundreds of thousands of podcasts available, this is one of them. Please give it up for your host, Señor Brian Fancypants. Wow, that is intense. Okay. Welcome to the Señor Fancypants Show. We are so glad you all came back. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I don't think he's listening.
Well, not yet, but when he finally does, he'll be pleasantly surprised. So, if you're new to the show and you skipped the first 3 episodes for some insane reason, the other voice you are hearing is my co-host, Lincoln.
Greetings, Fancy fans and future Fancy fans.
Yes. Well, we have a great show for you today. It's definitely going to be one of the top 4 episodes we've released so far.
We guarantee it.
Today, we will be talking about several things, including the great country of Germany, which I actually lived in Germany twice growing up, so it's a very special place to me. We apologize to all Germans in advance for any terrible pronunciations of your words that may occur in this episode. We will try our best.
Also, later in the show, we will be playing some really great music and talking about an awesome animal that lives in the mountains of South Central China.
But first, we're going to warm up a little by just talking to Lincoln about some of his favorite things. I know lately Lincoln has been playing a lot of Minecraft when he's not busy with homework and school. But for those who don't know, Minecraft, it's like a video game, right, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lincoln plays it on what system?
The Xbox 360.
So it's kind of an old system, but it's a great game. So I'm going to try and describe Minecraft, and Lincoln, you tell me if I'm wrong. Basically, you have this gigantic pixelated world where you can build pretty much whatever you can imagine. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what have you been working on building lately in your game?
My house.
Your house, your Minecraft house. Is it pretty big?
Yeah.
Is it bigger than our house? Our real house?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you're a character in the game?
Yeah.
And what's the character's name?
Whatever I name.
Whatever you named it? All right, well, I think the character, the generic name is Steve, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this guy Steve, and he's just building whatever he can imagine. Well, it's based on your imagination, but it's really cool. It's really creative. So if you haven't tried out Minecraft, maybe you should. Lincoln heavily endorses Minecraft, don't you, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, another one of Lincoln's favorite things that we've mentioned on this show before is a television show called
Doctor Who.
Yes, and for those unfamiliar with Doctor Who, it is a sci-fi adventure show where the main character explores the universe in a time-traveling spaceship called what, Lincoln?
The TARDIS.
The TARDIS. So if you're old enough and that sounds cool to you, you need to check out Doctor Who, with parents' permission, of course. That show has been popular in England for many years, and in recent years, it has started to get much more popular in the United States thanks to streaming services. Now, several different actors have played the Doctor character over the years, but the latest season is notable because for the first time ever, the Doctor will be played by a female. A brilliant actress called Jodie Whittaker will be taking over as the Doctor, and I think that's fantastic. I haven't watched a lot of Doctor Who yet, but I definitely plan to check out this new season with Lincoln.
If you haven't figured it out by now, I am a nerd.
Yes, which is awesome. We are a nerd safe zone here at the Señor Fancypants Show. This show is actually for everyone. We just want you to stay true to yourself. You don't have to pretend to be something that you're not just to fit in here on our show. So all of you nerds, jocks, musicians, plumbers, or whatever you might be into, you are welcome here. But yes, Lincoln likes some things that might be considered nerdy, but he embraces the title of nerd, as he should.
I am a nerd, in case you haven't heard. I know lots of things, and I say lots science and computer technology. If you make fun of me, doesn't really bother me. I'll say it loud and proud, I am a nerd.
Yeah. That was probably the best song about being a nerd that I recorded last week. Okay, so on the last episode of this podcast, we started an audience question segment. How does it work, you ask? Well, you, the listener, will think of a question that you would like us to answer here on the show and send it to our Facebook page or email it to fancypantsshow@gmail.com. We might not do this segment every episode, but we'll see how it goes.
We decided to call this segment Keith Brockway's Question of the Day.
Keith Brockway's question of the day.
It is called this because we're first going to answer a question from a man called Keith Brockway from Rome, New York, and then we will answer one of your questions.
For those who don't know Keith Brockway, we're sorry about that.
Yes. So today's important question from Keith is, you are on a boat and it's sinking. You're about to be stranded on a desert island.
You can bring one thing with you, and it can't be a boat. What do you bring?
All right, so Lincoln and I have already discussed this question, and we actually came to an agreement on the item we would bring, didn't we, Lincoln?
Yeah,
We decided that we would choose what?
a machete.
Yes, because a machete can be used for so many different things. If you don't know what a machete is, and probably some of you don't, and that's cool, it's like a giant, sharp, powerful blade with a handle. You could use it like a sword or an axe or something. It would be very useful for building a shelter or cutting through thick brush in a forest. You could hunt with it. You could strike it against a rock to create sparks to make a fire. Because you need, what do you need to survive, Lincoln? You need food
Yeah. Food, water.
and shelter.
Yeah.
And chances are there would already be fresh water somewhere on the island. And as far as food goes, you could use the machete to hunt or build traps or something. Or you could cut open a coconut if they're around, because coconuts have water and food in them already. And for shelter, you could obviously use the machete to chop up wood or something and build yourself a home for protection. So that's what we came up with. We agreed on machete. But maybe we're missing something. Maybe we're incorrect. So let us know if you agree with us or if you have a better idea. We're assuming, of course, that there's no cell phone or radio coverage on the island. So you can't call for help even if you do have a phone or a radio. It has to be a singular item, okay? All right, now our question from a non-Keith Brockway listener of the show comes to us from Kristen, way down in Florida.
If you had to choose from one of your 5 senses to give up, which one would it be and why?
All right, so first of all, Lincoln, what are the 5 senses?
Taste, sight, touch, smell, and sound.
All right, this is a tough one, but I know right away for me personally that I would not give up sight or sound. And as far as touch goes, I think touch is very important because, it's important for your own protection because you need to be able to feel things so you can at least feel pain because you don't want to pick something up and not realize that it's really hot and then you end up burning yourself. That's just one example, but you get the idea. So for me, I don't know about you, Lincoln, but for me, it has to be between taste and smell. What about you, buddy? Would you have to choose between those two, or is it one of the others?
It is between taste and smell.
Okay, so we're down to taste and smell for both of us. I know I would really miss my sense of taste because I love food so much. But if I couldn't smell, I imagine food probably wouldn't taste as good anyway because they're kind of connected. But your sense of smell is really important for safety because you want to be able to smell smoke to help warn you of a fire that's around. Anyway, as much as it pains me to say, I think I have to go with taste on this one. What about you, Lincoln?
Smell.
You're going with smell? Okay, so we don't agree on this one, and that's fine. So what we want you to do is we want you to send us a message and let us know what you would choose. So I'm choosing taste, Lincoln's choosing smell. But there you have it. That was our
Keith Brockway's question of the day
segment. So please send us a message and let us know how you would respond to these questions. All right, now it's time for something educational. What's next, Lincoln?
It's time once again for our place of the day.
Yes, because there are other places in the world. As I mentioned before, The place we will be talking about today is a beautiful country in Central Western Europe, a country with a population of nearly 83 million people.
We are talking about Germany.
Or as the Germans call it, Deutschland. So here we go. Here are just a few facts about Germany.
The capital of Germany is called Berlin. It is also the largest city.
Yes, the population of Berlin is currently about 3.7 million.
Germany produces over 300 different kinds of bread.
And right now, Lincoln is going to name them all in alphabetical order. Okay, maybe not right now. Man, I had no idea there were so many different kinds of bread. Way to go, Germany.
Germany is a land of many castles.
While we don't know the exact number, there are estimated to be over 20,000 castles in Germany. Some of them are in great condition still, and some are in ruins, but either way, they are really fun to explore. I was fortunate to be able to visit many castles when I lived in Germany, and one really cool castle that I got to visit is a famous one called the Neuschwanstein Castle. I don't know if that sounds right. Does that sound German to you? Neuschwanstein. It's not as old as many of the other castles, but it's still very impressive. Walt Disney actually visited that castle before Disneyland was built, and it was actually the inspiration for the famous Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Germany shares its borders with 9 other countries.
Yes, Germany is surrounded by France, Luxembourg, Denmark, Belgium, Switzerland, Austria, the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and Poland. So if you live in Germany, you can easily travel to all of these great countries very quickly. I've been to at least 6 of them, and I would say Austria was probably my favorite.
There are around 1,500 different types of sausage in Germany.
Yes, and Lincoln is going to name them all in reverse alphabetical order right now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have time right now. Seriously, though, I didn't know there were that many kinds of sausage just in general, but I am willing to try them all.
Germany is home to more Germans than any other country in the world.
Wow, that's interesting.
Germany is the birthplace of printed books.
Yes, back in the 1400s, around the year 1440, a man called Johannes Gutenberg created the first printing press, which is obviously a device with the purpose of printing books. This was a very important invention because with more books being available, a lot more people were able to gain access to knowledge and information. Basically, it made the average person more intelligent over time. See, books are very important, and many of us should read more. That's just my public service announcement. And Germany is still one of the leading producers of books today.
Many other important things were invented in Germany, too.
Yes, some of the other great German inventions include bicycles,
Jet engines,
harmonicas,
coffee filters,
contact lenses,
X-rays,
automobiles, and perhaps the greatest invention of all,
the gummy bear.
Yes, Germany is actually home to my favorite gummy bear company in the world. You might be familiar with a company called Haribo. They are the gummy bears that come in the gold package. They're often referred to as gold bears. Haribo also makes all sorts of other gummy candies, but the bears are a classic. If all the gummy bears that Haribo made in 1 year were laid out head to toe, they could go around the earth 4 times.
That's a lot of gummy bears.
It is indeed. Anyway, Haribo's not paying us or anything, so you know that we are true fans. All right, moving on.
In Germany, many people dip their French fries in mayonnaise, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It's true, I've seen it up close. Germans and lots of other European people will dip their French fries in mayonnaise. I've seen it happen, and I'm not sure how I feel about it either. Also, combining mayo with ketchup is very common too. We're going to put up a poll on our Facebook page because we want to see what you all think about this fact. Mayo on French fries. Is it gross? Does it interest you? Or perhaps you are already a fan of that combo? Just let us know. So Germany's great, and there's a lot more you can learn about it, but those are just a few things that we found interesting, and we thought we'd share them with you. I actually lived in Germany when I was a teenager. That's where I first learned to play guitar. See, I learned when I was 14, I learned a few chords and I wanted to start a band right away. I wanted to write songs immediately. And there was a style of music that was popular at the time that was called ska. Lincoln, have you ever heard of ska music? You've heard it a little from me, right? But you're not super familiar with it. For those who don't know what ska is, because it hasn't been popular for a while, it's kind of like a rock and roll kind of music, but with a horn section. So you usually have like a trumpet and a trombone and a saxophone. So you actually need a lot of people to have a ska band. So I ended up having to settle for a much smaller band because I couldn't get that many people together. And my first band was actually called Receding Hairline. Did you know that, Lincoln?
No.
Yeah, so it was called Receding Hairline, and you're never going to hear what we sounded like. But anyway, speaking of ska music, we're going to play you an example of what that kind of music sounds like. So here is a musician that I love from California called Mike Park, who is a very talented ska music writer. This is his song called I Love to Play My Saxophone.
Saxophone, saxophone, I love to play my saxophone. But you can play any instrument you like. You can play the piano, or maybe a violin. You can play the guitar and strum your favorite song. You can play something bright and shiny like a tuba or trombone. But there's only one instrument that does it for me, and that's the one and only saxophone. You can play the piano, or maybe a violin. You can play the guitar and strum your favorite song. You can play something bright and shiny like a tuba or trombone. But there's only one instrument that does it for me, and that's the one and only saxophone. Saxophone, saxophone, I love to play my saxophone. But you can play any instrument you like, but just play music.
That song was brought to you by fidget spinners.
There are thousands of them available now in clearance bins across the nation. All right, now I do believe it's time for our Animal of the Day segment. You know, we need to think of a new name for this segment. Not everything can just be the blank of the day. That's not very creative. We need something like, now it's time for our segment called Animals Are Cool and Here Are Some Facts About One of Them.
I'm sure we can think of something better than that.
Yeah, or maybe one of our listeners has a good idea.
Yeah, send us a message if you can top that.
As we mentioned in the beginning of the show, today we are going to be talking about an animal that lives in the mountains of central China. It is called
The giant panda.
also known as the panda bear, or just simply pandas. So give it up for pandas. Come on, I can't hear you, because this is a recording. All right, technically pandas are omnivores because they will eat small animals and fish on occasion, but most of their diet consists of bamboo.
They spend at least 12 hours a day eating it.
Yeah, that usually amounts to at least 25 to 30 pounds per day or more. The reason that they eat so much is because bamboo is not actually that nutritious, so they have to eat a ridiculous amount of it in order to get all the nutrients they need. I don't quite understand this concept, so I might sound dumb for saying this, but if there are any pandas out there listening right now, try eating something more nutritious. Then you'll have so much extra time in your day to pursue other activities, like doing cute somersaults.
Or playing Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what else?
Pandas are born blind.
They don't open their eyes until they are 6 to 8 weeks old.
Pandas are very cute, but that doesn't mean you should high-five one.
That's right. Much like other bears, you should only cuddle with the ones that are filled with cotton.
An adult panda weighs between 200 and 300 pounds.
When standing, they are about 5 feet tall, and when they are on all fours, they are about 3 feet tall, although they rarely stand up because they have a difficult time supporting their weight.
Giant pandas are very good climbers.
They begin climbing trees when they are around 7 months old.
A panda's throat has a special lining that protects it from getting bamboo splinters.
Yes, we humans do not have this special lining in our esophagus. I highly recommend that you do not attempt to eat raw bamboo. It can also be poisonous to humans if not cooked properly.
Pandas do not hibernate like other bears.
This is because their bamboo diet doesn't help them build up enough fat reserves for the winter. So there are very, very few zoos in the world where you can go to see a giant panda in person. The closest zoo to Lincoln and I that has pandas is the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. I was lucky enough to go see some of those pandas once several years ago. They actually have live webcams on their website where you can go and see the pandas in real time, so go check it out. Now, not long ago, pandas were considered endangered. In recent years, there has been evidence that the number of pandas in the wild has increased, and they are now classified as vulnerable. That means that there have been successful efforts to save pandas from extinction, but they are still at a very high risk of becoming endangered. If you want to look up more information and see what you can do to help, to see to it that pandas never go back to being classified as endangered, check out the World Wildlife Fund online at worldwildlife.org. So hopefully you learned at least something new about pandas today. Right now, we're going to play a really cool song by a band from right here on planet Earth called Playdate. It is about the power of your imagination. It is a song for those of you who can look at a simple object like a cardboard box and imagine endless possibilities for adventure.
Here is Playdate with their song Cardboard Box.
This is not just a cardboard box. It's my car. It's my race car. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my time machine. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my castle. It's my castle. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my rocket ship. Cardboard box. Cardboard box. Cardboard box. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my island. It's my private island. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my unicorn. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my friend. It's my robot friend. This is not just a cardboard box. It's my bullet train. Cardboard box. Cardboard box. Cardboard box. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's my tree house. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na na na. It's my ninja game. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's my drum set. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's my parachute. Cardboard box. Sailboat. Cardboard box. Trampoline. Cardboard box. Life session. Cardboard box. Backpack. Cardboard rocks. Skateboard. Cardboard box. Love machine. Cardboard box.
I love this cardboard box.
Yeah, me too. All right. Thanks once again for joining us here on the Señor Fancypants Show. We hope you enjoyed our 4th episode. make sure you check out the podcast details for some links to stuff we mentioned on the show. And if you have a question that you would like us to answer on our next episode, make sure you send us a message. All right, so actually real quick, Lincoln, we didn't do an update on Harry Potter Lego minifigures because I think we have another one now, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are up to how many?
I don't know.
Wait, we're up to 10. I just looked. We're up to 10 minifigures. Okay, so what's the new one we have?
Dobby.
Dobby. All right, so there you have it. For those keeping track, we have 10 Harry Potter Lego minifigures, and we just got Dobby. Awesome. So we're going to end with a song by Señor Fancypants, which is me, because we haven't played one of my songs since the first episode. So here you go. We're going to say goodbye and play you this last song by me. It's called Teddy Bear. We'll see you in a fortnight. I love you.
I've got a teddy bear, I take him everywhere with me, like on adventures in a submarine. I've got a teddy bear and we go everywhere. He's my very best friend. We explore the depths of the oceans. We write songs and make up the motions. He is my funniest, furriest friend. We'll stick together until the end. Oh, I've got a teddy bear, I take him everywhere with me, like on adventures in a submarine. I've got a teddy bear and we go everywhere. He's my very best friend. We pretend we're searching for treasure. We see pirates and fight them together. He is the bravest bear I've ever known. Since I have him, I am never alone. Got a teddy bear, I take him everywhere with me, like on adventures in a submarine. I've got a teddy bear and we go everywhere. He's my very best friend. One Christmas morning back when I was only 3, I woke up early and looked underneath the tree. As I got closer I could see what was there. My new best friend, my teddy bear. Oh, I've got a teddy bear, I take him everywhere with me, like on adventures in a submarine. I've got a teddy bear and we go everywhere. He's my very best friend. He's my very best friend. He's my very best friend.